Alright, YouTube, how you doing? This is going to be my little video of the Primary Arms Generation 2 red dot sight. It looks like a Aimpoint M4. Now, they had it on their website and it's only for $59.99. Yeah, you can see $8.65 shipping, but for $65 I'm going to get this red dot, and what I'll do is I'll just keep this video going. I'll show you when I get it, I'll show you when I put on my gun, and I'll show you when I bring it down to the range and shoot it. Hi YouTube. Alright, well, I went ahead and I checked online and I got my package notification that it was sent off. If you look at it, it comes from Pearland, Texas. Came to me in San Diego, California. I ordered it on a Monday and it was shipped Tuesday. My fault because I ordered it late Monday. And Tuesday, Wednesday, arrived at my house on Thursday. Unfortunately, I had duty, so I wasn't able to be here opening it up. It's Friday afternoon now, and so I'm going to go ahead and open it up. Alright, I had to reach down and grab my scissors. Wow, look at these. Everybody shows their fine knives that they use to open their packages. Look at these, dollar store scissors. Here. Hey, look at this, just like everybody else, I got a receipt and a box in here. Open up the receipt, let me see. Yeah, imagine that, just what I ordered, just what I paid too. Let me show you guys once again. It was the blem, which had a little bit of a problem with the volume, but the with the intensity dial. Supposedly it rubs, hits just a little bit on the body. $59.99, normally $99.99, $8.65 shipping. Like I said, got here 3 days shipping, $68.64 total. Excited to see what it looks like. It's got the end caps already on there. Move everything to the side. One thing I noticed instantly about this one, it has the metal retention on there, that's nice. Better than the other ones that I see that were plastic or whatever and needs to get caught everywhere. And now let's look at that piece that gets hit all the time. Maybe I can show you over here if you look at it. Looking at it, what you can't see, or maybe you can see, there you go, got a good picture of it. It actually doesn't hit at all. It's perfect. Let me just move it around a little bit. Give me 1 second because I'm doing this one-handed. Once again, very hard to see, but it misses it the whole entire time. So really, marked blem, but yet not. Pleasant surprise. One of the things I was doing is I was turning the brightness level. There's no battery in there, but turning the brightness level, and just in turning it, what I've noticed is that it's got some clicks. You can actually feel the clicks, but nice smooth operation. Doesn't hit at all. I mean, this is marked blem, but it's not really. Yeah, it's made in China, but that sucker's coming right off. Matter of fact, I'm not gonna leave that on there for another moment. Caps on there, everything. And let me throw some batteries in there and I'll be right back. Okay, I've got the battery in. Once again, maybe if you can see this area right in here, you can see I flipped the caps down. So that way when it opens up, it'll open up against the gun as opposed to sticking up in the air. But that way give me a little bit wider field of view. But if you look through it, yeah, it's got a little bit of a bluish tinge to it. Really, I mean, when I look through it, maybe it looks a little bit worse on the camera than it does in person. However, it's nice and clear where you look through it, as you can see. So let me go ahead and turn it on. Now looking for the dot. It's supposed to be a 2 MOA dot, so 2 inches at 100 yards. You can see the dot. Now this house we've got full sunshine, and let me see. So I'm getting a little bit of washout. You guys can't see it here. I'll turn it up a little bit brighter, but I can see it no problem against the house. Let me adjust it again. This is the brightest setting that it has. Looking at the brightest setting, I can clearly see it. Moving it over, if you moved up against that house where it's really bright, I can see it. I don't think it's showing up really well on here, but I can see it no problem. Daylight, looking through it, yeah, I see it. Alright, here I am. Here's my 1022. You can see what I've got on there right now. What I'm using on there right now as far as a red dot is and this is going to be upside down for you, but it's an ATN Ultra sight. This particular Ultra sight works really good. I like it going down. As far as like looking down, it works good. But the thing is that I want something that would work a little better in the daylight. This works really good if you're in the shade. However, unfortunately, when you're working, shooting, if you will, in a little bit of sunlight, it becomes a little bit harder to see. So at this point in time, let me go ahead and take it off, and then we'll see what the new one looks like on it. This works good. No, you're not looking at the final position of it. I'm going to have it in the same position the other one was, and that's going to be right here on top of the receiver. Not that I would mind too much with it being right here. Looking down the gun, I wouldn't mind too much, but the problem is that this is where I want it. Right here, not there. Wanted it mounted on the solid part of the gun, not the stock. Hello, YouTube. Well, I went ahead and put the gun up for the night because, as you remember, I had my sight mounted right here. So what I ended up having to do was take my rail off. There's 4 screws on the 1022, as you can see them right there. And then I actually had to grind it down. I took some metal files and I just worked on it till I was able to open it up. You can see now there's a space difference, much more similar to the regular spacing than there is on the 1022. So once again, I just had to open it up a little bit. What I did is I worked from let me work my way down here. What I did is I left this front the way where it was, and I worked towards the rear of the gun. When you do this, just make sure that you know which ones your close holes are versus your holes that are farther away, so that way you get it positioned correctly. You don't accidentally work on the wrong hole. For my position, I know you're not really supposed to put the action down, but just for demonstration purposes. For my purposes, what I wanted to do is I wanted to mount it so it pretty much made it up in the front like this. As you can see, it would be somewhat straight in the front. That's where I wanted mine. That's why I went ahead and took it, and as I filed it aft or towards the rear. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and mount it on, and then go ahead and show you what it looks like. Alright, got it mounted on now. And like I said, I wanted it even in the front, and if you look, you can see, once again, yes, it's even in the front. One other thing to mention about this is if you end up having a gun that's not a standard size like I did, you can see once again how it's nice and even in the front. If you have a gun that ends up not having a standard sizing on the spacing like I did, just make sure that you make it a little bit wider than what you actually need. By making it wider than what you need, what you'll allow the scope to do is to center up correctly. If you did it just tight enough, what would end up happening is you could possibly cause the scope, or you could cause the sight to canter a little bit to one side or the other. But man, this sucker looks sexy now. Yeah, baby. Look at that. Let me see if I can get a little bit farther back view without standing up. I'm sitting down here on the ground while I'm doing my work, but yeah, it looks good. I like that. One of the reasons, again, why I did want to mount it on the front is one, because of balance. For my particular taste, I wanted the balance to be where I wanted it. And where I wanted it was pretty much in the middle of the weapon. And another thing is if I mounted it on here, the barrel is somewhat free-floating. If you look at it, because I've got the standard taper barrel, which this particular stock can hold the bull barrel. If you look, you can see the gap, it doesn't touch. In the front, I got a gap, it doesn't touch. So yes, it's free floating, but the only problem with that is that it mounts down here also. That's where the screw is on the bottom, and you can see, well, right there is where the screw is. By the screw being right there, that mounts it to the stock and holds it in, it's almost like a pivot point. And what ends up happening is if I was to take that barrel and grab it and move it up and down or back and forth like this, what would end up happening is, yes, it would wiggle within the stock. So what do? Do I mount the sight onto the stock? And that way I have the platform that actually fires the projectile downrange move? Or do I mount it to the same platform that would move within the stock? Well, obviously I picked the one that would move with the stock. So I think it looks great, man. It looks really good. Let me go ahead and back up a little bit. Let me put it down and let you guys get a little better view of it. Yeah, I think that looks good. I think it looks real good. I love it. Holding it just in my one hand, moving it around, it does feel really balanced, really easy to maneuver. And, you know, I've got the little short stubby, if you look in the front, I got the little short stubby front grip. With the short stubby front grip, if I put because I live in California, don't forget, but if I put a short stubby, if I put the 25 round look banana clip, magazine. I hate when people say clip. That's what I meant to say is magazine. But when I put a magazine in here, that's that banana style, it looks like a 25 round magazine, it'll clear the handle no problem. The normal ones that go in there, the ones that are hidden within the stock, the 10 rounds. Now those particular ones, obviously no problem anyways. However, if you put the ones that look like it holds 25 rounds, but it still only holds 10, because California, thank you, it'll still clear that front grip without having any problems as far as trying to maneuver it around, sticking it in, taking it out, whatever. And so the next time you see this gun, it'll probably be in a couple days, but what we'll end up doing is bringing it to the range, shooting some rounds down range, and let y'all see how it works. Sighting in process. All right, range. Also going to finish the review on the primary arm sight that I got. Anyways, just showing. I've been shooting at it with my pistol, been shooting at it with my rifle. You can see at the bottom, you see towards the first sighting group, second sighting group, up to the target, brought it up, and then brought it over to the middle. It's really easy to sight in. I only had to adjust it, like I said, a couple times. Then I was shooting up here, down there at the 20-yard range with it. It shoots really good. That is freehand and also on bench. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and bring down 20-yard range. Look at that. 10 rounds. Looking good. It looks really, really good. 10 rounds right there. With a mounted on. Highly recommended.